much like a funhouse mirror. Behind the mirror are thousands of tiny piston-like devices, which are instructed by a computer to push and pull on the mirror, constantly adjusting it to compensate for the turbulence and keeping it on a straight path until it strikes a target. Remarkably, all of this plays out in a matter of milliseconds. But lasers won't be just ground-based. They may also be fired at us from the sky.
Lasers mounted on an aircraft are being studied by the military, and at some point these lasers will be small enough and efficient enough that you can put them on an aircraft in place of, let's say, a cannon, which is now mounted on an aircraft. Cannons weigh a great deal, and they fire bullets, and the jet aircraft actually catch up with the bullets they fire because they fly faster than the bullets go. So you have to be a little bit careful about what weapons you put on jet aircraft.
Edwards Air Force Base, Mojave Desert, California, nearly 100 miles north of Los Angeles. This is home to virtually every significant experimental aircraft ever flown. From Chuck Yeager's Bell X-1 that first broke the sound barrier, to the SR-71, the fastest aircraft ever built, to Burt Rutan's Spaceship One, the first manned commercial craft designed to carry vacationers into space. This is a place where aerodynamics is advanced by light years. Here, secreted away in a hangar, is a revolutionary aircraft. The Air Combat Command's USAF YAL 747. It's not the speed or how high it can fly that makes it so special. It's the cargo. The world's first airborne directed energy weapon, the airborne laser, also known as the ABL. Just mounting the ABL requires one of the most sophisticated and elaborate modifications in history. The entire nose section is removed and retrofitted, and the world's largest titanium plate is installed to hold the enormous turret-mounted laser in place. The ABL system is designed to find, track, and destroy an enemy target in the air and on the ground. It can loiter at 40,000 feet for 5 hours, refuel in midair, and destroy a target 60 miles away in less than a second.
You have only a microsecond to respond, and that's not enough time for any system to respond. So the laser is almost instantaneous. Aircraft don't fight each other at close range by dogfights anymore. That's because they fly with missiles, and the missiles today have a range of like 20 kilometers plus. So if you detect a not friendly aircraft that you wish to attack, you'll do so by radar, and you'll attack that when it's still well outside what I would call the range of old-fashioned cannons on aircraft. So we don't see dogfights close in now. What we see is missiles that are launched and go a distance. The laser itself has a speed of Mach 300,000, so it's 300,000 times faster than if I launch a missile from an aircraft. So in the future, it will not be aircraft in a dogfight. It will be aircraft at a distance being brought down by laser beams.
The Airborne Laser Project was launched in 1996 at a cost of over $1.5 billion. The weapon is projected to be combat-ready by 2015. There's also the fear that it could trigger a super high-tech arms race. Today, with lasers installed in virtually everything we use, from computers to CD players to video game systems, how long until our enemies have access to cheap, high-powered laser weapons?
In the era of energy weapons, we're almost certainly going to see exactly the same kind of arms race that we've seen with nuclear weapons and with other kind of weapons before them. The fact is that if the United States develops powerful lasers, other nations will develop powerful lasers. And as their lasers get more powerful, our lasers will have to get more powerful.
If there is an arms race, can that same technology also be scaled down to the size of handheld weapons? The type of ray guns once envisioned by Flash Gordon, or the blaster pistols and rifles used in Star Wars?
Is it possible to make it in the scale, the size that a human can carry? Yes. I don't need lasers much bigger than this to generate 1,000 watts of power. And 1,000 watts of power is enough to do real harm to a human being.
In movies and television, laser weapons always seem so clean and sterile. They bore holes through things, or they conveniently make things vaporize. But the reality of a laser weapon that was used against people would probably be much, much uglier. Imagine some sort of beam burning through your body. Lasers could be horrific and scarring and horrifying weapons.
And it's not the only sci-fi weapon within reach. Another directed energy weapon being developed can supposedly stop in its tracks a type of attack that claims thousands of lives without any collateral damage. Directed energy weapons are a critical component of tomorrow's military. And one weapon in development might prevent the type of attacks that have claimed thousands of lives. Mosul